Hello and welcome to the 200 subscriber special, the 10 YouTuber primary. Taking a look at the national average currently for the Iowa caucus, and first is Let's Talk Elections, polling at 36.1%, though several candidates in the race are saying that that number is inflated. And second is Red Eagle Politics, sitting at 26.2%. Third is Election Predictions Official, sitting at 18.5%. Next is Political Forecast, sitting at 10.1%. And fifth is Political Analysis, sitting at 7%. And sixth is Unbiased Elections Predictions, sitting at 1.2%. Next is Purple Political Talk, sitting at 1.0%. Election Launch Analysis, America First Mapping, and Chaotic Politics are all also sitting at 0.1%. We can now project that Red Eagle Politics will be the projected winner in the Iowa primary. A big upset here, as LT is expected to win this primary. Red Eagle sits at 31.7%, LTE is at 21.9%, EPO sitting at 9.7%, Political Forecast at 9.6%, Political Analysis sitting at 7.3%, UEP sitting at 7.3%, Chaotic Politics sitting at 4.8%, PPT sitting at 2.4%, EWA at 2.3%, and AFM at 2.2%. As the only two candidates that broke 50% being Red Eagle and LTE, they're the two that get delegates. Red Eagle Politics has been awarded 23 of Iowa's delegates, and LTE has been awarded 18 of Iowa's delegates. The rest of the candidates have received 0 delegates. Here's the delegate allocation so far in this election. Let's Talk Elections sitting at 18 delegates, and Red Eagle Politics sitting at 23. The rest of the field sitting at 0 delegates. Here's the current map thus far. As you can see, it is shaded light blue for Red Eagle Politics. So we now have breaking news, as America First Mapping has withdrawn from the YouTube primary after a poor showing in the Iowa caucus. He has chosen to endorse Red Eagle Politics for the nomination, however. And just as expected, as polling has showed, out of the New Hampshire primary, Let's Talk Elections will win its primary, garnering 25% of the vote. Red Eagle Politics sitting at 16.6%, Political Forecast at 16.5%, EPO at 8.3%, Political Analysis at 8.2%, UEP at 8.1%, Chaotic Politics at 8%, PPT at 4.1%, and EWA at 4%. We have 3 candidates that broke the 15% threshold, and LTE has been awarded 10 of New Hampshire delegates, while Red Eagle Politics and Political Forecasts have been awarded 7 each. The rest of the field was gained no delegates from this state. Here's the delegate allocation thus far. LTE sits at 28 delegates, Red Eagle Politics leads the field with 30 delegates, and Political Forecast has 7 delegates. And the rest of the field has 0 delegates. Here's the current map thus far. LTE is being colored in green. And out of the Nevada primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner. This is expected to be close, and it was close. Red Eagle Politics winning the primary with 22.2%, LTE at 16.6%, EPO at 16.5%, Political Forecast at 16.4%, UEP at 16.3%, Political Analysis at 2.7%, PPT at 2.6%, EWA at 2.5%, Chaotic Politics at 2.4%. Sorry, their names are all mixed up here. We apologize for that. And the top 5 candidates did get delegates. Red Eagle Politics being awarded 9 delegates, LTE, EPO, and Political Forecast each given 7 delegates, and UEP given 6 delegates. UEP wasn't expected to break 15%, though he did better than expected. This could be because Nevada being so close to his home state of California. The rest of the field gets 0 delegates. And here's the delegate allocation thus far. Red Eagle Politics leads the field with 39 delegates, with LTE right behind him with 35. EPO has 7 delegates, Political Forecast has 14 delegates, and Unbiased Election Predictions has 6 delegates. The rest of the field has 0 delegates thus far. Here's the map thus far. as we can see more of the map will be filled out as we go through the primary season. We now have breaking news as Purple Political Talk has withdrawn himself from the YouTube primary, and he has endorsed unbiased election predictions for the nomination. Just a few short days after PPT had dropped out, we now have another dropout as Election Watch Analysis has withdrawn from the YouTube primary, and he has chosen not to give an endorsement. Another big dropout here, as he was in the top 5 before the Iowa caucus even began. Though due to poor performances in the first 3 primary states, Political Analysis has withdrawn himself from the YouTube primary and has chosen to endorse Let's Talk Elections. And no surprise here, out of the South Carolina primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner of this primary. But it is surprising Chaotic Politics doing a lot better than expected. He wasn't even supposed to be in the top 5, he was supposed to be near the bottom. Though this could be because of South Carolina being so close to his home state, North Carolina, as nearby politicians do better in states in their home state and states nearby. Red Eagle Politics sits at 22.2%, Chaotic Politics sits at 20.3%, LTE sits at 18.5%, Political Forecast sits at 18.4%, EPO sits at 11.1%, and UEP sits at 9.2%. And we had 4 candidates break the 15% threshold, and meaning they have earned delegates. Red Eagle Politics has won 15 of South Carolina's delegates, Chaotic Politics has won 14 delegates, Let's Talk Elections has won 13 delegates, and Political Forecast has won 12 delegates. The rest of the field has not won any delegates. Here's the current delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle Politics still leads the field with 54 delegates, with LTE sitting at 48 delegates. Election Predictions Official has 7 delegates, Political Forecast has 26 delegates, Unbiased Election Predictions has 6, and the big surprise here, Chaotic Politics has 14 delegates, with the rest of the field having 0 delegates. Here is the current map thus far. And we do have breaking news. Another big top contender, Election Predictions Official, has withdrawn from the YouTube primary and has endorsed Let's Talk Elections, who has gained a substantial amount of endorsements throughout this primary season. And no surprise here, it is not Super Tuesday, but no surprise here, out of the Alabama primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning the primary with 26.9%, Chaotic Politics right behind him at 23%, LTE at 19.2%, Political Forecast at 17.3%, and UEP at 13.4%. As only 4 of the 5 candidates have won delegates, Red Eagle Politics has won 16 delegates, Chaotic Politics winning 14 delegates, LTE winning 12 delegates, Political Forecast winning 10 delegates, and Unbiased Election Predictions not earning any delegates from the state of Alabama. And out of American Samoa, a territory, not a state, usually votes for the more popular individuals, as LTE is more known than the other 9 candidates. LTE is the projected winner out of American Samoa, winning about 33.3% of the vote. Red Eagle Politics winning 16.6%, Political Forecast winning 16.5%, UEP winning 16.4%, and Chaotic Politics winning 16.3%. And here, and each candidate broke 15%, though that's not much considering how very few people voted in this primary. LTE has won 2 delegates, while the rest of the field winning a single delegate from American Samoa. Out of the Arkansas primary, Red Eagle Politics will go on to win the Arkansas primary, winning it with 32.2% of the vote. Chaotic Politics sits at 25.8%, LTE sits at 19.3%, Political Forecast sits at 12.9%, and UEP sits at 9.6%. With the top 3 candidates earning delegates, Red Eagle Politics wins the most delegates at 13 delegates, Chaotic Politics wins 10 delegates, and LTE wins 8 delegates. Out of the California primary, a big shocker here, as LTE was expected to win this primary. Political Forecast will go on to win his home state of California, winning it with 29.6% of the vote. LTE will win 23.8%. UEP, this is also his home state, he will go on to win 19.7%. Red Eagle Politics will win 14.7%, and Chaotic Politics will win 12%. With the top 4 candidates earning delegates, despite Red Eagle Politics not winning 15% nationwide, he still won 15% in enough areas to earn delegates. Chaotic Politics, however, was not able to. Political Forecast has been given 141 delegates, LTE has been given 115 delegates, UEP has been given 98 delegates, and REP has been giving 61 delegates. At the Colorado primary, no surprise here, Political Forecast is the projected winner, going on to win 26.8% of the votes. LTE has won 23.8%, Red Eagle has won 20.9%, UEP has won 14.9%, and Chaotic Politics has won 13.4%. With the top four candidates earning delegates, UEP earning 50% in enough areas to earn delegates similar to Red Eagle in California. Political Forecast has been given 21 delegates, LTE has been awarded 19 delegates, Red Eagle has been awarded 17 delegates, and UEP has been awarded 10 delegates. Out of the main primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, winning 29.1%. There is an error on the Political Forecast image, as it's supposed to say PF, not LTE again. But Political Forecast has won 25%, Red Eagle winning 20.8%, UEP winning 12.5%, and Chaotic Politics winning that's supposed to say 12.4, but and I apologize. With the top three candidates earning delegates, LTE has won 9 delegates, Political Forecast has won 8 delegates, and Red Eagle Politics has won 7 delegates. At the Massachusetts primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, going on to win 28.5% of the vote, as only 3 candidates has gone above 15%. They are the only ones expected to earn any delegates, as we can call that LTE will win 35 delegates, Political Forecast will win 30 delegates, and Red Eagle Politics will win 26 delegates out of Massachusetts, with UEP and Chaotic Politics not winning any. At the Minnesota primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, winning the race with 29.3% of the vote, and 3 candidates, the same 3 from Massachusetts, are the ones to earn delegates from this, as UEP and Chaotic Politics did not break the 15% threshold. LTE has been awarded 28 delegates, Political Forecast has been awarded 25 delegates, and Red Eagle Politics has been awarded 22 delegates. And a big surprise here, Red Eagle Politics was supposed to win this primary. He was leading in pre-election polling, but North Carolina is projected to go to Chaotic Politics. He will go on to win his home state, garnering 37.2% of the vote, which is incredible. A huge polling error, as he was only being polled at less than 15, around 12 to 13%. This is a huge polling error, but Red Eagle Politics winning 23.6%, and LT winning 17.2%, the rest not even getting above 15%. Chaotic Politics won a massive 49 delegates from North Carolina, while Red Eagle Politics only wins 34 and LTE wins 27. Of the Oklahoma primary, no surprise here, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning the primary with 37.8% of the vote, and only 3 candidates earning delegates, Red Eagle, Political Forecast, and LTE. Red Eagle Politics is projected to win 17 of Oklahoma's delegates, Political Forecast projected to win 11 delegates, and LTE projected to win 9 delegates, the rest not getting any. Out of the Tennessee primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning their primary with 31.2%, with only 3 candidates breaking 15%, that being Red Eagle, Chaotic Politics, and LTE. And those numbers look like this. Red Eagle Politics will win 26 Tennessee delegates, Chaotic Politics will win 20 delegates, and LTE will win 18 delegates. Out of the Texas primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner. This state was supposed to be close, and not as close as many thought it was. It's supposed to be within 5%, though. Red Eagle has won it by 8 points or more. Red Eagle Politics, Chaotic Politics, Political Forecast, and LTE being the only candidates to break 50%, meaning they will gain delegates. Red Eagle Politics being awarded 74 delegates, Chaotic Politics being given 56 delegates, Political Forecast being given 52 delegates, and LTE being given 46 delegates. Out of the Utah primary, unbiased election predictions was actually ahead in this state, though Red Eagle Politics was in a close second within the margin of error, and he will go on to win this primary. However, unbiased elections actually isn't even in the top 3. He's actually in 4th. Another big polling error seen here today, as Red Eagle Politics wins this state with 31% of the vote, and only 3 candidates, Red Eagle, Chaotic Politics, and LTE, will be given delegates. and Red Eagle will be given 11 delegates, Chaotic Politics will be given 10 delegates, and LTE will be given 8 delegates. Out of the Vermont primary, no surprise here, Political Forecast is the projected winner, winning 37.5% of the vote, as well as LTE and Unbiased Election Predictions bragging 15%. They will be given delegates. Political Forecast has been awarded 7 delegates, LTE has been awarded 5 delegates, and Unbiased Election Predictions has been given 4 delegates. Out of the Virginia primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, a state that Red Eagle Politics Political Forecasts weren't expected to do well, and they haven't done well compared to the other 3 candidates, as the other 3 candidates broke 15% and will be given delegates. LTE will be awarded 46 delegates from Virginia, UEP will be awarded 29 delegates, and Chaotic Politics will be awarded 24. Here's the current delegate allegations as we have covered all the states in Super Tuesday. Let's Talk Elections currently leads the field with 435 delegates. Red Eagle Politics has 379, Political Forecast has 332, Unbiased Election Predictions has 148, and Chaotic Politics, surprisingly, as many weren't even expecting him to have any delegates, has won 198 delegates. Here's the current map thus far. A lot of dark blue, light blue, purple, and green are on the screen. That purple probably playing an outlier. As we have breaking news now, Unbiased Election Predictions has withdrawn from the YouTube primary and has chosen not to give an endorsement, but has pledged to endorse whoever the eventual nominee is. More big news as Chaotic Politics has withdrawn from the YouTube primary, only winning his home state of North Carolina. He sees no path forward to receive the nomination, and he has chosen to endorse Red Eagle Politics. It is now Super Tuesday 2. We now have a projection. Idaho primary. Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning almost 2/3 of the vote, as he is winning the more conservative vote, as Political Forecast and LTE are splitting the liberal vote. They will all win delegates. Red Eagle Politics winning 12 delegates, Political Forecast winning 5, and LTE winning 3. Out of the state of Michigan, a state that had LTE leading in polls, Red Eagle Politics has shockingly won this state in an upset, being the projected winner, winning over 50% of the vote. It is his home state after all, so we should have expected more for him. And LTE coming in second, and the Political Forecast coming in a close third. And here are the delegate counts for the state of Michigan. 64 delegates going to Red Eagle Politics, 36 going to LTE, and 25 delegates going to Political Forecast. Out of the Mississippi primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning a huge chunk of the vote, outshining the other 2 candidates. But all 3 candidates are expected to win delegates. Red Eagle Politics winning 20 delegates, LTE winning 10 delegates, and Political Forecast winning 6 delegates from the state of Mississippi. Out of the state of Missouri, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, going on to win the primary with 52.9% of the vote. Again, outshining the other 2 candidates, all 3 expected to earn delegates. As we're showing you now, Red Eagle Politics earning 36 delegates, LTE earning 20 delegates, and Political Forecast earning 12. Out of the North Dakota primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, going on to win 57.1% of the vote, most if not all of the conservative vote, of course, while the other 2 candidates lag behind. And both Red Eagle and Political Forecast are expected to earn delegates. LTE, however, is not breaking the 15% threshold. Red Eagle Politics has earned 9 delegates, and Political Forecast has earned 5 delegates. Out of the state of Washington, a state that was supposed to be closer than it is, was supposed to be closer. Political Forecast winning the state by 35.9%. This is supposed to be razor thin, however, Political Forecast winning more vote than we expected to come out. LTE and Red Eagle are also supposed to earn delegates. Political Forecast has earned 32 delegates, LTE has won 29 delegates, and Red Eagle has won 28 delegates. And here's the delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle Politics has now taken the lead, having 548 delegates, while LTE is in second with 533, and Political Forecast in third with 417. We have breaking news. This comes as a shock after his victory in the Washington primary. However, Political Forecast has withdrawn from the YouTube primary has endorsed Let's Talk Elections. Apparently, many Democrat leaders, including LTE, had came to political forecasts and said that in order for a liberal to win the nomination, the YouTube nomination, that they would need to stop vote splitting, and political forecasts agreed to step down from the election. Here's the current map thus far. Out of the Northern Mariana Islands, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, winning 66.6% of the vote. Spirit expected to win 4 delegates, while Red Eagle Politics only wins 2 delegates from the state. Here's the current map thus far. Out of the Arizona primary, a state that Red Eagle was hoping to win, spending a lot of time there. However, it didn't work out, as LTE is the projected winner, going on to win the state by a little bit over 50%, and expected to win 34 delegates. However, Red Eagle Politics not that far behind, winning 33 delegates, just LTE only having a 1 delegate advantage over Red Eagle. Out of the Florida primary, a race that was supposed to be expected, LTE actually spent a lot of time here, but like Red Eagle in Arizona, it just didn't pan out. Red Eagle winning over 50% of the vote, a very close election. However, the delegate count may say otherwise. Red Eagle has 111 delegates awarded to him, and LTE has 108 delegates. At the Illinois primary, a race that Red Eagle spent some time there, just not as much as the other 2 states, LTE is the projected winner, winning over 55% of the vote. LTE will be given 86 delegates to Red Eagle's 69 delegates. Here's the delegate allocation so far, as LTE only has a 2 delegate lead over Red Eagle Politics. LTE has 765 delegates to Red Eagle Politics' 763. And here's the current map thus far. We have many states left to call, though many political pundits are worried that this could go off to a contingent election, as without superdelegates in the mix, you need 1,991 delegates to become the nominee. We now have a big call out of the state of Wisconsin. LTE was expected to win the state already, go pulled out an upset again, winning over 50% of the vote, 51.1%, and is expected to carry 43 delegates to LTE's 41, a state that both candidates campaigned in heavily, though Red Eagle is the projected winner in this primary. Here's the current delegate allocations, a dead tie between the 2 candidates. This is a very, very close race to the nomination. Here's the current map thus far. As you can see, a lot more blue is starting to appear on your screen, especially near the Rust Belt, which is a target for any campaign to win. We now have a projection out of the Alaska primary. Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning a good chunk of the vote. Expected to take home 8 delegates to LTE 7 delegates. Here's the current delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle taking the lead with a 1 delegate lead. A very close race thus far. Here's the current map thus far, as more blue is being shaded in. We have some more primaries to go out of the Wyoming primary. Red Eagle Politics is expected to win this very conservative state, winning just 3 points away from a 60% victory. However, he's expected to take home 8 delegates to LTE's 6 delegates. Here's the current delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle leading 822 to LTE's 819. Here's the current map thus far, and there was an interview with both candidates to see why neither is dropping out. Red Eagle Politics says he is on a roll right now, and LTE says that so far only conservative states have been having their primaries. As soon as more liberal states such as the Northeast start having their primaries, he expects to take a lead over Red Eagle. Out of the Ohio primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, taking home a good percent of the vote, earning 73 delegates, while LTE is earning 63 delegates, just a 10 delegate lead for Red Eagle Politics. Here's the current delegate allocation. Red Eagle Politics a good lead over LTE, 895 to LTE's 882. Here's the current map so far as we shade Ohio blue. Out of the Kansas primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner. LTE tried to make this closer, though it just couldn't happen. Red Eagle winning 53% of the vote. Expected to take home 21 delegates, while Let's Talk Elections takes home 18. And here's the delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle Politics, a 16 delegate lead over LTE, 916 for Red Eagle Politics, and 900 for Let's Talk Elections. It is anyone's race so far, though. This is more and more looking like it could go to a contingent election. Here's the map so far as we're coloring Kansas light blue. We now have a call at the Nebraska primary. Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, expected to win over 58% of the vote, meaning he's going to get 17 delegates, while LTE is going to win 12 delegates. The delegate allocation so far, Red Eagle Politics only increasing his lead over LTE, sitting at 933 delegates, while LTE sits at 912. Out of the Oregon primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, finally earning himself a primary win after many conservative states just knocking his campaign down more and more. Expected to win over 54% of the vote, earning him 33 delegates to Red Eagle Politics is 28 delegates, a state that Red Eagle was hoping to make closer but couldn't do. And here's the current delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle Politics still enjoying a lead over LTE. Red Eagle sitting at 961 delegates to LTE's 945. Here's the map so far as we shaded Nebraska blue and Oregon green. At the Hawaii primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner. No surprise here. Red Eagle Politics really didn't spend that much time here, only having one primary since before the Iowa caucus. Didn't really spend any money here, as only LTE winning 58% of the vote, earning him 14 delegates to Red Eagle's 10. Here's the delegate allocation so far. Red Eagle still enjoying his lead with 971 delegates to LTE's 959. Here's the current map so far as we color in Hawaii green. Out of the DC primary, no surprise here, LTE is the projected winner, winning over 90% of the vote expected. And since Red Eagles hasn't gone over 15%, all of DC's delegates will go to the Let's Talk election, all 20. Out of the Indiana primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, a very strong candidate for the Rust Belt. Red Eagle is proved, as he is expected to win over 56% of the vote, earning him 46 delegates, a 10-delegate lead over LTE, who's expected to take home 36. Out of the Maryland primary, LTE's home state, he is expected to, Let's Talk Elections, expected to take his home state, winning over 65% of the vote, while Red Eagle takes home 34%, LTE winning 63 delegates, while Red Eagle takes home 33. Out of the Montana primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, winning over 52% of the votes, earning him 10 delegates to LTE's 9. This LTE spent some time here, which may have shown why it is closer than expected, which may shock the Red Eagle campaign. Out of the New Mexico primary, a state that Red Eagle tried his best to win, he actually held quite a few rallies here, but to no avail. LTE is expected to win over 52% of the vote, earning him 18 delegates to Red Eagle's 16. Out of the Pennsylvania primary, another state Red Eagle spent a lot of time in hoping to win, as he had won most of the other Rust Belt states with the exceptions of Minnesota and Illinois. He was hoping to win Pennsylvania and add to his collection, but just couldn't do it. LTE is expected to win over 50% of the vote, though this is a very, very close race. LTE winning 94 delegates to Red Eagle's 92. Out of the Rhode Island primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, going on to win over 53% of the vote, earning him 14 delegates to Red Eagle Politics is 12. Out of the South Dakota primary, Red Eagle is the projected winner, going on to win over 56% of the vote, a state that LTE really didn't spend that much time in. Red Eagle is expected to win 9 delegates to LTE's 7. Here's the delegate allocation so far. LTE, as he has stated earlier, as more liberal states came in, he expected to take a lead, and well, he just proved that, having over 1,220 delegates. Red Eagle Politics is 1,189 delegates. A very narrow lead for LTE, but not the narrowest we've seen, of course, as we've seen a dead tie between the two not that long ago. And here's the map so far. A lot more green, a lot more light blues being shaded. We have very few states left to call, with a few districts as well. Out of the Guam primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, expected to take home over 47% of the vote, winning 4 delegates, while Red Eagle takes home 3. Same story here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, a near exact exact same message here with LTE taking home 4 delegates and Red Eagle taking 3. Here's the delegate allocation so far. LTE still taking the lead with 1,228 delegates. Red Eagle is 1,195 delegates. Here's the map thus far as we color in Guam and the Virgin Islands green. And out of the Georgia primary, big shock here. Red Eagle's actually leading up to the election. However, LTE has turned out a lot of the Atlanta suburbs, Atlanta urban areas, a lot of voters, and is expected to narrowly take the state over Red Eagle, winning over 50% of the vote, winning 53 delegates to Red Eagle's 52. Very, very narrow race in Georgia between these two. Out of the West Virginia primary, Red Eagle is the projected winner, no surprise here, winning over 64% of the vote, a huge lopsided victory for Red Eagle as he takes home 18 delegates to LTE's 10. Here's the delegate allocation so far. LTE still enjoying the lead with 1,291 delegates to Red Eagle's 1,264 delegates. Here's the map thus far as we start coloring in more and more states. Out of the Kentucky primary, Red Eagle Politics is the projected winner, expected to take home over 57% of the vote, earning him 31 delegates to LTE's 23 delegates. Not a state that LTE campaigned much, and we could say the same thing for Red Eagle here in New York, as he wasn't expecting much of a victory. LTE winning over 57% of the vote, a somewhat lopsided victory in New York, as he wins 157 delegates to Red Eagle's 117. Here's the delegate allocation so far. The race has tightened up yet again as LTE sits at 1,471 delegates, with Red Eagle sitting at 1,413 delegates. Here's the map as we have 4 states and 1 territory left to call, just 5 races left, and we are definitely going to a contingent election with the super delegates, and with the normal delegates going to rearrange their delegates. It's going to take quite a couple ballots before we get a winner. Out of the Delaware primary, Let's Talk Elections is the projected winner, winning over 52% of the vote in the state, earning him 11 delegates to Red Eagle's 10 delegates. Out of the New Jersey primary, a state that Red Eagle actually campaigned in more than many people thought he would, LTE is the projected winner, winning over 53% of the vote, earning him 67 delegates to Red Eagle's 59. Here's the delegate allocation so far. LTE gaining more of a lead now, sitting at 1,549 delegates to Red Eagle's 1,482 delegates. Here's the map as we start filling in more states. Out of the Louisiana primary, Red Eagle is the projected winner, no surprise here, winning over 55% of the vote, earning him 30 delegates to LTE's 24. Out of the Puerto Rico primary, LTE is the projected winner. Neither candidate actually went to Puerto Rico, though it is a lot closer than many people thought it was going to be. LTE was actually supposed to win over 55% of the vote. It is much more narrow than that, especially in the delegate count, as Let's Talk Elections has been given 26 delegates and Red Eagle has been given 25 delegates. Out of the Connecticut primary, LTE is the projected winner, no surprise here. Red Eagle, similar to New Jersey, try to test the water, see what he can do here. Just no prevail, losing by 10 points. LTE expected to earn 33 delegates to Red Eagle's 27 delegates. Here's the final delegate allocation, as LTE has a lead of 1,632 delegates and Red Eagle has 1,564 delegates. This will go to a contingent election with the super delegates. Here is the current primary map, though. This is definitely going to change if the super delegates don't cut it. If the super delegates end up being super close, as many are expecting, a lot of this dark blue could end up going to green. This purple, this lone purple, will end up going to light blue. Some of this light blue can turn green, and some of this green can turn light blue. We just have to wait as the few endorsements that came in from the other 8 candidates will matter. However, UEP's delegates will be split in half between the 2 candidates if that gets to that point. And we do have the results from the super delegates, as the super delegates, of course, ended up being super close, just a 1 delegate lead. LTE has 386 to Red Eagle's 385. And that only gives LTE 2,018 delegates, while Red Eagle has 1,949 delegates, as the margin of threshold needed to earn the nomination is now increased due to the super delegates being in here. The candidates now need, if I'm not mistaken, 2,134 delegates in order to win the nomination. And we now make a projection after the second ballot. We can now give the YouTube nomination to Let's Talk Elections, as he has now earned 2,505 delegates to Red Eagle Politics' 2,232 delegates. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I didn't make anyone's fan base mad. That would be nice. But there will be a kind of like a part 2 to this special. This as a thank you for 200 subscribers. Somebody actually in the comments, his name was OK, which I love that name. He suggested doing a Q&A video, and I thought that's a great idea. So leave questions down in the comment section below, and it won't be the next video, but the video after that is where I will answer those questions. Also, go follow my Twitter at Chaotic Politics. This is the Chaotic One saying peace.